Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. So let's get started with our discussion. First of all, let us see important topics of the day. The first article is Panel to Study Issues Faced by Totapari Mango Farmers in AP. So actually this article is talking about one important mango species called as Totapari mango. So here you have to see some basic facts of this mango and what are the climatic conditions required for this crop. And next you have to see about what exactly the issues faced by these farmers. And there is one triangle called as Totapari triangle. You have to see which areas comes under that Totapari triangle. Okay, so all these things are very important, and now you have to see what exactly the problems faced by this mango farmers. Why you have to focus on this kind of articles? If you're getting any articles related to crops, loss for the farmer or increased income for farmer, whatever it may be, that is very important from agriculture point of view. Especially in your economy GS paper 3, there is a separate chapter called as agriculture, which is very important from mains. Every year at least 3 questions you can get from agriculture from your mains point of view. And even in your prelims also, you will get questions related to crops, climatic conditions, geography related with agriculture, like that. So this topic is important from both prelims and as well as mains. I will let you know how questions can be asked. Okay. And next topic is radio telemetry almost saved this vulture from death. This article is talking about one important technology called as radio telemetry, and we are using this technology especially to track the movement of animals. And finally, we can say this radio telemetry helped vulture to save its life. So here UPSC can ask a question regarding this radio telemetry directly. And even in your mains, whenever you are writing any answer related to biodiversity conservation or animal species conservation, there you can add this article as an example of, and you can give radio telemetry is one technology that we can use to save the animal species. Okay, and this topic is important from environmental ecology from GS paper 3. And next topic is counting cancer. Making cancer a notifiable disease at the national level is the way forward. As we all know that there is increased non-communicable disease burden in our country. In that one is cancer. So because of rapid increasing of this cancer cases, now this article is saying that if you want to treat that cancer and if you want to prevent this cancer in future generation, it should be a notified disease. So here we have to understand what is the meaning of a notified disease and what are the advantages we are going to get if any disease is declared as notified disease, and why this article is saying that cancer should be a notified disease. You have to understand that, and even you have to see what will be the impact if we are notifying this cancer as a notified disease. If you see your PYQs of prelims, many a times UPSC asked question on cancer, especially from your general science point of view. And apart from that, health is one important area that you have to focus from governance point of view. Okay, so from that point of view also in GS paper 2, you may get a question on this notified diseases. And next topic is building water security in a rapidly drying India. As you all know that the major problem in our urban areas is water insecurity. There is water crisis, especially if you go to Delhi, in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, in metropolitan cities, we have this problem. And this year, we have deficit rainfall because of El Nino. Yes, recently IMD said in the month of July, there will be 40% of rainfall deficit. Already we have faced this water crisis in urban areas, and now there is a combination of both low rainfall or rainfall deficit plus already existing water crisis. Because of this article is saying that we have to ensure water security. Then only we can overcome this challenge of water crisis in our country. And this topic is important from environment and ecology. You can take this topic from geography point of view if you refer monsoon. And you can also see this topic from society and social issues point of view from society. Okay, so this is mains based topic. And next topic is manufacturing justice. Use of AI fabricated judicial precedents amounts to criminal misconduct. Recently, Supreme Court gave guidelines related to using of artificial intelligence. Okay, we have to see this article from that point of view. Negatives of using of artificial intelligence in judiciary. And this topic is important from science and technology because we are using this artificial intelligence, and even this topic is important from polity point of from GS paper too, because Supreme Court involved here. It is a part of judiciary, right? So all these are the topics now we are going to discuss in this class. Okay, let us see this title. Panel to study issues faced by Totapari mango farmers in AP. So this article is talking about one important species of mango, that is Totapari. I think you might have seen that mango in the market. So what is the shape of that mango? It is having different shape, right? And what will be the taste? Sweet, only sweet, sweet plus sour mixed. Okay. So here you have to see about the applications where we'll use this mango. Where we'll use this mango normally? Mango pulp. Where we'll use this mango pulp? Fruity, maza. Next. Other than this cool drinks, in which areas we can use this mango pulp? Mango flavored ice creams. Yes. Next. Yeah, in sweets. Especially in AP, there will be one special item. What is that item? Tandra. Yes. So like that, we'll use mango in different food processing industries. Right. Okay. Now let us see what is the issue. What is the issue? If you are from Karnataka, you will be knowing this. What is the price of this mango in Karnataka? 120. Okay. At what price farmers are selling this? I'm not asking about market price where customers or retailers will purchase. Not even half price. The price of this mangoes went down to 4 to 5 rupees per kg. If mango price is 4 to 5 rupees per kg, actually that mango farmers, they have to recruit some people to just pick that mangoes from the tree itself, right? So for picking, they have to pay money for this agriculture laborers. Will they come for free of cost? But farmers are getting just 4 to 5 rupees per kg for mango. Is that feasible for them? Then what these farmers will do? What these farmers will do then? Will they sell their mangoes in the market? Rather than that, what they'll do? They'll try to dump that mangoes, let them rotten on the tree. Yes. Because of this, what is happening here? This time, the mango farmers got huge losses. Okay. Because of this, now we are going to arrange a panel and we are going to study what exactly the issues faced by this Totapari mangoes in AP. Are you understanding why it is in news? Why we are going to arrange a, because of huge losses faced by Totapari mango farmers. Because of this, now government is trying to arrange a panel and they are going to see what exactly the issues faced by this farmers. Okay, now let us see in detail. The price of this Totapari mangoes crashed dramatically. It is around 4 to 6 rupees per kg. The pulp units are procuring these mangoes at a very low price. Even though government gave a mandate that they have to purchase at this so and so price, but even though that manufacturing units, they are purchasing this pulp at a very low price. Because of this, they are facing lots of problems. But why there is drastical decreasing of this price of mangoes in the market? You have to know that. First one here is, we had bumper harvest across this Totapari triangle. So this Totapari triangle is nothing but AP, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. In these three regions, we can see this Totapari mangoes, especially Chittoor in AP, Kollar or Srinivaspur in Karnataka, Kishangiri in Tamil Nadu. So these areas comes under this Totapari triangle. In news, recently we came across this golden triangle. It is related to what? Opium. We have one more triangle called as lithium triangle. These are the areas where this lithium is available in the large amounts. And in geography, you'll come across one triangle called as Bermuda Triangle. This Bermuda Triangle is one of the dangerous water route. Whenever ships go into that area, they will be sunking in that. So even today, the mystery behind this Bermuda Triangle has not been chased out. So like that, you will be having this kind of words, triangles. Bermuda Triangle, Lithium Triangle, Golden Triangle, now Totapari Triangle. So UPSC can give a question on this. In a match the following based question, we can't expect which question can be given in UPSC. If this kind of triangles in use, it may ask all these triangles. It is a possible question. On one side, they'll give you Totapari Triangle, Bermuda Triangle. Next one is Golden Triangle. On another side, areas, geography. Are you understanding? In that way, they can give a question. Okay, next one here is, next important reason is, we had excess rainfall last year. Because of this, what happened? Excess rainfall, the water content in the fruit will be more or less? More. If water content is more, what about sweet? More or less? Less sweet. That is the second important reason. Because of more water content in the fruit, there is reduced sugar levels. Because of reduced sugar level, it is not that much suitable for making of mango pulp. Okay, second reason is that. And next one is, last season also we had lots of pulp. Because, last year what happened? America imposed 50% of tariffs or sanctions on Indian goods. Yes, because of this, it affected our mango. I think if you recall what are the current affairs we discussed in last year, we discussed in the same way one entire article related to mango pulp. Yes, mango pulp is filled in the tins. They are not exporting because of the sanctions. Yes, can you recall that article? So if you can remind that or recall that. So last year we reduced our exports. Because of this, already this pulp industries are having this pulp of last year. If they are already having their raw material, will they purchase more? Because of that, there is decreased demand. That is the third reason. And next one is, obviously, there is weak export demand of pulp because of West Asian crisis and other geopolitics. Because of all these reasons, now the price of this Totapari mangoes in India had drastically reduced. If price is reduced, obviously the income of farmers will be reduced. Because of this, it is a cause of concern now. Okay, now what will be the impact? First one is, farmers left their massive quantities of mangoes unharvested. They didn't went for harvesting also. And they let them rotten on the trees itself. Because of this, what happens? Heavy financial losses for farmers. And they are doing protest. Yes or no? If farmers are not getting proper remunerative prices, obviously they will try to do some strikes. They will do some protest. And this one is, they dumped their produced in water in nearby areas, in dumping yards. Obviously that will lead to political tensions. Many small and marginal farmers, they pushed into debt and now they are going to leave their farms. Okay, so these will be the possible impacts of drastic reducing of prices in the market. Okay, now let us see some facts. On this you may get a separate question. Consider the following statements related to Totapari mangoes, because it is in news from last year onwards. In 2026, there is no question. In 2027, you may expect a question on this Totapari mangoes. Consider the following statements and they may give you 2 to 3 statements under that, and they may ask you to identify correct or incorrect. Okay, and if you see in geography, in local winds topic, you will be having this type of local wind called as mango showers. And they may relate this Totapari mangoes with mango shower, and they may ask you interlinking question of agriculture with geography. So whenever geography starts, Sandeep sir will be teaching about local winds, examples, and there will be map work also. So as of now, remember, we have pre-monsoon shower, especially during this flowering, before the flowering of this mango trees, we will be getting local shower. That is called as mango shower, which will be helpful for formation of flowers on this mango tree. So it is called as mango shower. Like that, we have lots of local winds like Lu wind, which is a hot wind. We have Kal Baisakhi. So like that, we have different types of local winds. They can also interlink these two. Okay. Now let us see some facts regarding this Totapari mango. It is a juicy mango. It is having like elongated shape with parrot beak like tip. I think you can imagine. So whenever we draw this kind of parrot images in our childhood, we did the same way. Parrot beak, pear shaped. Okay. And next one here is this mango is commonly used in juice and pulp extraction. Especially it is used in food and beverage industries. It is indigenous to South India and it is having like different names. You know, in how many different names we can call it. Okay, and what are the ideal growth condition? It will be grown only in the tropical climate where we have warm temperature and dry summers. It requires moderate rainfall. It is widely grown in AP, Karnataka and as well as Tamil Nadu. Particularly cultivated in Chittoor, Kolar, Ramanagara and some parts of Bangalore rural areas. So these are the areas where we can see this growth of Totapari mangoes. Okay, see this next article. Read out the title. Radio telemetry almost saved this vulture from death. You have to know about some facts related to vulture. And on this vulture, UPSC repeatedly asked prelims based question. If you say PYQs, I think 4 to 5 times UPSC asked question from environment point of view on this vulture. Okay guys, now tell me, what have you seen this vulture? In Telugu, what we will call? Yes, okay. Vulture is called as savior of our environment. Why it is called as savior of our environment? What is the main food of this vulture? It will feed on dead and decaying organisms, right? Okay. So why we have to remove the dead and decaying organism? It is also called as scavenger actually. So why we need to have our environment which is free from these dead and decaying animals? Have you ever had experience of dead and decaying organism smell? If there is any dog died, if it is thrown on that side of road, if you're passing through, so which kind of smell you'll get? Foul smell. Yes. Is that smell good? Why you'll get that kind of smell? Because of decomposition. Decomposition is done by microorganisms. Yes. If there is no animal which is feeding on that dead carcass, what happens? There will be spread of diseases because of contamination of food and water. Right. Okay. So these animals will feed on this dead and decaying organism. And not only that, do you know this Parsi community? We have Hindus, Christians, Islam, we have Parsis. What they'll do, Parsis, after the death of humans, after death of humans, they just leave this body for this vultures. And they will believe that vultures are their ancestors. And they are offering their dead body to their ancestors. Because of this, in final rites, what they'll do is they will leave that dead body like that only, and this vultures will come and they will feed on that dead body. Imagine if you see this Natural Geographic channel or like that, you will be having this kind of episodes on vulture especially. But what is the main problem faced by this vulture is, as you all know that in veterinary means nothing but related to animals. If they are facing any problem, this veterinary doctor will come and he'll give some injections. In that, they will give diclofenac. I think you might have listened about this diclofenac. No idea? It is a painkiller. Even if you are having extreme pain, if you have a complaint of extreme pain and if you go to doctor, they will give this diclofenac injection. It is very cheap and it is more effective NSAID. Okay. So actually what is happening here is in veterinary animals, because of this giving of diclofenac, if that animal dies, will leave that body, and this vultures will come and will feed on that dead body. And whatever the diclofenac which is there in that animal, that will be transmitted to whom? Vulture nerves, right? Because of that, what happened? What is the main side effect of taking more and more painkillers? Kidney damage. What happens here is, after this vulture consumes that dead body which is containing diclofenac, that will leads to kidney damage of vulture. Because of that, vulture will dies. Like that, 90% of vulture population declined in our country because of just one drug called as diclofenac. Imagine 90% of vultures reduced. Only we have 10% of vultures only present in India. So is that responsibility for our government to conserve them or not? Because it plays a vital role in our environment. So now government started protecting of vulture, and this program is called as Project Vulture. For that, we are focusing on breeding of vulture. For that, government established one breeding center of vulture in Haryana, Pinjore region of Haryana. So what government it is? So government is going for breeding of this vulture, and what are the vultures we are hatching from the eggs? They will try to bring it up and they will live in the wild. Okay, before they live in the wild, they will arrange this radio telemetry. They will arrange one equipment so that we can track that movement of that vulture. In this image you can see, okay, it is fixed with radio transmitter. Can you see here? This is one radio transmitter which we arranged on this vulture and we left in the wild. Finally, they identified that whatever the vultures they raised in this breeding center, they are not that much adapted or adjusted to the wild, because situation in the wild is very different when we are comparing with our home, right? So if you are raising any pets, we will be giving whatever the environment that the pet required, and we will be taking care of that pet. But what happens in the wild? We will be not taking that much kind of care, and we can't expect how the situations will be in the wild also. So here what is happening here is, nowadays we are going for increasing of electrification even remote areas. Yes or no? So for that reason we have to consider what? Electric lines. We need to have some power lines and even transmitters, like that. We need some other equipments. So because of that, what is happening? This vultures, they are hitting this electric lines and they are getting electrocution and they are dying. So this vulture also used to face that kind of situation. Immediately officials located that vulture and they took and they again sent back to this breeding center. Because of this title is saying that radio telemetry almost saved this vulture from death. Clear? So now how UPSC can give a question? Consider the following statements regarding radio telemetry. Is that possible? Under that, it may give you 2 to 3 statements and it may ask you to identify correct or incorrect statements. That is a one type of possibility. And where we are using this technology? For biodiversity conservation. And this biodiversity conservation is one important and favorite area of UPSC for prelims. How it can give a question is, consider the following technologies related to biodiversity conservation. Under that, it may give you 4 to 5 technologies. In that, one will be radio telemetry. That means you need to know what are the other technologies that can be used for conservation of biodiversity. Clear? So in this way, you may get a question. And in mains, whenever you are writing any answer related to conservation of biodiversity, if you are giving any measures, can you include that? Recently, telemetry saved one vulture from death. Yes, in that way you can use these articles wherever it is possible. Use this kind of current affairs wisely. Okay. Now let us see about telemetry. Telemetry is nothing but a wireless technology. And in this telemetry, we are using what? Radio waves. And we are trying to measure data by using this radio waves, even in remote or inaccessible areas. And this radio telemetry is combination of radio communication plus telemetry. Telemetry is nothing but like measurement. Okay, and the data include what we all going to collect. We are going to collect data related to temperature, pressure, heart rate of that animal, exactly where the location, all these things we are going to measure by using that telemetry. And where exactly we can use this radio telemetry? First one is for wildlife tracking. We can fix this on different animals. Recently we discussed that this kind of radio related things had been attached to olive redley turtles also. Not only olive redley turtles, we can arrange it to our elephants. Elephants will use these radio collars. On their neck part, we will be arranging these radio collars. Like that, we have different equipments, even for sloth bears, even for polar bears, even for whales, even for dolphins. We can arrange this so that we can identify their movement, migration patterns. And next one is in medical field, we can use it in pacemakers. You know these pacemakers? Have you seen this movie, Vivekam movie of Ajit? There will be one woman, she is a hacker, ethical hacker. Her lover, he'll be having heart related problem. For that, he will be having that pacemaker. By tracking that pacemaker, in this investigation, they'll find his location. No idea. You have to see that kind of movies. And not only seeing that movies, you have to apply that, try to understand everything. So pacemakers are related to heart. It will be controlling this heartbeat actually. Some people will be having this problem of slow heartbeat or very high heartbeat. Normally, how many times our heart will beats per a minute? 72. If it is less than 50, it is called as bradycardia. If it is more than 90, it is called as tachycardia. Normally, whenever we are getting fear, anxiety, our heartbeat rises or slow downs? Rises. Whenever you are in deep sleep, your heartbeat slow downs. Normally, if any heart related patient is there, his heartbeat will be like not normal. It will be not always 72. Sometimes it will go down, sometimes it will be increased. So if you want to maintain proper heartbeat, and for this heart related patients, they will be installing this pacemakers. Okay, that pacemakers also we can use this radio transmitters. And next one is ECG. Okay, have you seen this movie Dhruva? Everyone, Ram Charan's movie. In that also they will be using a bug. Bug will be also functioning based on this radio telemetry. Okay, it is a basic example and many of you might have watched that movie. Okay, next one is in aerospace and space research also we'll use this. Because of that only we can track the location and the path of these rockets. So have you ever seen after once the rocket launch is done, there will be some clips, no, ISRO people all will be sitting before big computers and they will be tracking. So yes, we got success, we are succeeded, like that they will be trying to share some emotional moments. So in that they will be tracking the movement of rockets by using this telemetry. And this one is for environment monitoring. For example, weather stations, water bodies, forest. We can use again radio telemetry. And this one is even industrial process, vehicle tracking, in military surveillance. All these areas we can use this radio telemetry. So here also you can get a question. Radio telemetry is a technology used in which of the following? They'll give you 4 to 5 and they'll ask you to identify which of the above are correct. On these applications also you may get a question. Till 2023, UPSC asked most of the science and technology based prelims question on these applications. But now it is changed. Again the trend can be repeated. Who knows? Okay, are you understanding? If you see PYQs, you can understand like exactly how question can be framed and how many types UPSC can give you the question. With repeated practice, you can excel in that. Okay. And now let us see next article. Say this title, Counting Cancer. Making cancer a notifiable disease at the national level is a way forward. What is cancer? In your school days, I think you might have heard about cell division. Yes, what is meaning of cell division? One cell will be divided into 2 daughter cells. One parent cell, 2 daughter cells is called as cell division. How many types of cell divisions do we have? 2 types. What are they? Very good. Mitosis, meiosis. What is mitosis? What is meiosis? one cell will be divided into two identical daughter cells called mitosis. Then what about meiosis? Sperm, egg, fusion. Yes? Okay, I have to tell one more concept. Do you know the types of cells we have? Diploid cells and we have haploid cells. What is diploid cell? How many sets of chromosomes do we have? 23 pairs. Very good. We have 23 pairs of chromosomes. If a cell has 23 pairs of chromosome, it is called as diploid cell. That is called as 2x. If cell is having just 23 chromosomes, I am not talking about pairs. Here pairs means we have total 46. Here we have 23 chromosome is called as haploid cells. Okay. In our body, almost all cells are diploid cells, but only we have egg and sperm. Egg and sperm are haploid cells. Okay. In diploid cells, what happens? Parent cell dividing into two daughter cells. Parent cell will be having 23 pairs. Daughter cells will be having 23 pairs. It is mitosis. What happens in meiosis is egg plus sperm. Egg will be having 23 chromosomes. Sperm will be having 23 chromosomes. They are haploid cells and they will unite and now it forms 23 plus 23. That is 46 chromosome and here the division will go on. So this is called as meiosis. Meiosis will happen in reproductive process. But in other process, for the cell growth, increase size of the baby, everything, mitosis will happen. Okay, meiosis will happen in the reproduction process. But other than that, mostly we can see mitosis. Okay, you know now cell division. Cell division is nothing but one cell will be divided into two daughter cells. Like that, what happens? If you want to increase the size. So normally whenever the baby born, the normal weight of the baby will be like 2 to 2.5 kgs. But after 10 years, how much the size will be? Baby height will be increased, baby weight will be increased. And now compare with your weight. You can ask your mother like how much weight you were at the time of birth. And now you can compare your weight and height now. Is there any difference or not? A lot. Why? Why this difference? Because of the cell division, the number of cells increased in your body. That led to overall growth and development in your body. Okay, if cell is dividing in the normal pace, no problem at all. Everything will go very smoothly. But there will be some cells, they will go for incomplete division and very fast rate the division will happen. So if there is incomplete division, very fast rate of division, what happen? They will form lumps. Gaddal. Okay, they will form lumps and they will form what? Tumors. And in this tumors also again we have two types of tumors. One is benign tumor, B-E-N-I-G-N. And next one is malignant tumor. Benign means nothing but you can identify that there is one lump in my body. You can touch it, you can feel it and it will not move. It will be there in that place only. If you want to remove that, you can go to any hospital and you can get a small minor surgery and you can remove it. No problem with that benign tumor. But problem is there with malignant tumor. Malignant tumor will not stay in one place. It will try to move on in the different parts of your body. And it is very difficult to track it where exactly it is. And it will disturb our overall other body organs. That condition is called as cancer. Okay, nowadays there is increased risk of cancer. Why there is increased risk of cancer? So can you tell me some examples of cancer that you know? In many movies they'll show examples of cancer. Lung cancer, blood cancer. In women, breast cancer, cervical cancer. In men, prostate cancer. Stomach cancer, liver cancer, different body parts, different cancers. Is why there is increased risk of cancer now. Have we heard this kind of names earlier, back 2 generation back? Very less, very rare also. But now there is increased number of cancers. Why? What do you think? What are the reasons? What are the reasons why there is increased cancer risk now? What do you think? Come on, tell me. Online students, tell me. Environment conditions, environment is changing. Next one is everything we are eating plastic. We are cohabiting with plastic. We cannot live without plastic today. Even we made plastic as part of our blood also. We can see microplastics in our blood also. Smoking, yes. Consumption of tobacco products will also cause throat cancer, mouth cancer. Have you heard this? Mukesh ad. Now I have only 2 bangles. Next. Come on, tell me what are the reasons. Think. Yes, fast food. Next. First and the foremost thing is lack of physical exercise. That is the foremost reason. Earlier, people used to work till morning to evening, but nowadays we have robots. Yes, they are cleaning our floor. We have washing machine, even dishwashers machine, and even we are employing domestic workers. Every home is having that domestic worker. Even me too. I'm not accepted, but in my house also I have a maid. So because of this, what is happening here? Lifestyle become very sedentary. And even nowadays, we are moving towards food processing more. We are eating that kind of processed food, canned food, even frozen chicken, frozen mutton, frozen fish. Easily they are available in the supermarkets. And instant, that's what, instant foods. And they will add some chemicals to store the food for long. Yes or no? It is not that much fresh. Because of that, what is happening? It is having impact on the cell division of our body. That will lead to altered cell division. That may cause cancer. Okay, now let us see this article. It gave lots of data. Let us see that. So here this article is saying that we have to make cancer as a notified disease at the national level. Then we can fight against this cancer, because nowadays there is increased cancer burden in our country. Already 17 states in our country had notified this cancer as a notifiable disease, but not in all the states. Why we need to declare this here is, if our Union Health Ministry declares this cancer as a notified disease, then our healthcare providers, both private hospitals and as well as government hospitals, now they are legally mandated. They have to report the number of cancer cases they are referring. And next one here is, we can maintain a proper data related to cancer patients. And next one here is, now onwards, if cancer is declared as a notified disease, it will go beyond existing voluntary population based registries. Now we have to go for mandatory maintaining of records of this cancer patients. And why we need this? Because there is a lots of data gaps. Only in 17 states they declared as notified disease. In that states only they are reporting the cases of cancer, but not happening throughout our country in a uniform way. Because of this, government is not getting proper data. That is the one important thing. And whatever the registries which are maintaining this cancer data, only 10 to 16% of population are having that kind of data. Only 10 to 15% of people who are having this cancer reported that they are having cancer. So here, if you're not having data, can we come up with a particular policy? For example, recently we discussed one article that our president said that we want to eliminate the sickle cell anemia. Yes, and we have one target of elimination of TB. If you're having certain data, we can try to come up with a policy and we can fight against that disease. If we're not having data, we cannot. Okay, that is one important reason. And next one here is, if you're not having data, we cannot plan National Cancer Control Program. So here we have National TB Control Program. We have National Leprosy Control Program. So we don't have any National Cancer Program because of this lack of data. And next one here is ICMR also gave recommendations, but these recommendations are ignored by the government. Some years back itself, ICMR said we have to declare this cancer as a notified years, but government ignored this. And this one here is there is rising of burden of demands for better preparedness. Okay, if you have seen this Dhruva movie, there will be one incident they will be showing about patent drug for cancer. Can you recall that scene? Yes. Okay. So actually, cancer related treatment is very costly. It is not that much simple as like we get fever or cold. One tablet cost will be around 8,000 rupees actually. Okay. So here, if we don't have any policy, if government is not coming up with any policy to treat this or to help this cancer patients, can we get these drugs at a low price? No. If government intervention is there, then only we can ensure that the price of that medicine will be less, so that we can make that medicine affordable and accessible for this poor people also. So if government is not coming up with policy, obviously this poor people, they will be not getting proper medicine. Because of that, it will be having problem on our entire economy, right? So for that reason, this article is saying that if we want to make that treatment available and accessible to decrease the burden on this poor people, government has to come up with a policy. For that reason, we have to notify this cancer as a notifiable disease. Okay. Or if you say the facts, cancer is not a notifiable disease at the national level as of now. And only we have 10 to 16% of population coverage for this cancer related treatment. And 17 states have made this cancer as a notifiable disease. And recently Telangana state notified it as a notifiable disease. And if you see the burden in 2022, we have 1.41 million new cases. I'm not talking about old cases. 1.41 new cases have been recorded in 2022, and they are expecting that by 2045 this number will be increased to 2.46 million cases. Okay, if cases are increasing, government has to for sure take some steps. Okay. And what are the reasons? First one is life expectancy increased. Earlier, life expectancy is very low, but now improving of treatment, improving of advancements in equipments, everything, we are increasing the lifespan of people. If increasing of lifespan, if the age is increasing in the old age, they will be getting this kind of vulnerabilities. And this one is aging population is increasing, you know. Yes, recently we discussed many articles related to that. Lifestyle changes, you know, what are we doing? Next one is dietary shifts. Processed foods, canned foods, frozen foods, ready-made available products in the market. So what will be the impact if we are notifying this disease? The first one is we can get the complete data on incidents, and we can identify which are the hotspots, like in which areas we have more number of cancer cases, and we can draw a vulnerable map. And next one here is we can understand the types of cancer they are facing, like more cervical cancer or more breast cancer or more prostate cancer, more lung cancer or more blood cancer. We can understand. And next one is geographical distribution. So number of cases in AP or more, or Telangana or more, or Karnataka or more. We can understand that trends. And next one is we can go for better planning based on the type of cancer, based on the geographical area, which kind of food are they consuming, which kind of trends are there in that area, what exactly the reasons. It may be because of occupation, or it may be because of, especially the people who are working in this chemical industries, they will be having this vulnerability of getting cancer more and more, especially people who will be working in this fertilizer industry. They have to mix lots of chemicals, and they will come to this chemical exposure each and every single day. Because of this, they are more susceptible to get this cancer. We can understand like whether they got cancer because of occupation or not, because of dietary changes or not, because of lifestyle or not. We can understand the clear picture. If you are getting the clear picture, then only we can try to solve them from the root. And this one is early detection can happen. And this one is we can also include private sector inclusion for mandatory reporting of this cancer. And we can increase policy, and we can increase the research, and overall we can prepare ourselves. related to how to fight against cancer. We can increase awareness to the people. See this article, guys. Building water security in a rapidly drying India. As I said, we know we are facing lots of problem related to water crisis. I think you might have faced in your hostels in summer season. No water if you open taps. You have to wait till tanker comes. No bath every day. Yes or no? It is a reality in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad. Yes. If someone are new who joined recently, you will face this issue in the month of April. From April it will start. Now also, no water, only tankers. Okay, see here, this article is saying that India is facing water crisis. It is a real reality. It is on reality. Especially urban areas, metropolitan areas are getting this water crisis. In this water crisis, we can say lack of groundwater is one problem. And next one is, if government is supplying this water, sometimes it will be mixed with sewage water. Recently in Delhi also, in very rich area, they got black water. It is mix of fresh water plus drainage water, black water, bad smell. It is drainage only. That too in Delhi, in one very rich area. And recently, you know, because of this contamination of water, lots of children were admitted in hospital in which area? MP and MP region, Madhya Pradesh region, and even Maharashtra also. Many times there will be spread of contaminated communicable disease because of contamination of water. That will be the quite problem that we can see. These all are the problems related to water security. Water insecurity means not only the availability of water, even the water is not fresh, it is not potable. You know this potable, which is not for drinking purpose. We cannot use for the daily needs. So here this article is saying that this problem cannot be solved only by monsoon rains. Government has to take some efficient steps. As you all know that monsoon is a climate phenomenon. Climate change can be controlled. Is it in our government hands to make immediate impact? No. But government has to take some steps like how efficiently we are using water. Okay. So this proposal is saying about 4 policy actions we have to take. Please make a note of that. Keep star mark and write. Water crisis problem can be solved by, please make a head. Water crisis problem can be solved by. Water crisis problem can be solved by 4 policy actions. Water crisis problem can be solved by 4 policy actions. Water crisis problem can be solved by four policy actions. First one is invest in climate proofing water systems. Invest in climate proofing water systems. Investment in climate proofing water systems. Second one is enable large scale water reuse. Enable large scale water reuse. Enable large scale water reuse. Next one, scale up micro irrigation system. Scale up micro irrigation systems. Scale up micro irrigation systems. Next one is generate better data at river basin level. Generate data at the river basin level by using technology. By using technology. By using technology. Okay, that means government has to invest in getting up of technology related to waterproofing system which can withstand different climate changes. And next one is what are the water we are using. For bath, how many liters of water you will use? In hostels, you can see, especially in girls' hostel, girls will enter into bathroom. Even after 1 hour also they will not come, especially if they have to have the head bath. And you can imagine how many buckets of water get wasted, right? And even some people will be having OCD, especially housewives. They will clean whatever the dishes they clean only. They will not clean other. Only whatever it is clean, they will clean that only. In my house also we have one OCD person. We'll ask them to clean other one. No, they won't do that. But only whatever they were clean, again they'll clean that only. So in this kind of OCD mindset, they will waste lot of water in cleaning purpose. So whatever the water we are using for domestic purpose, we can try to reuse it. Okay, so if we are reusing that kind of domestic water, obviously we can decrease the water wastage. And next one is we can scale up the micro irrigation system. In agriculture, we can use drip system. I think you might have seen these drips. Black color pipes, they will make some holes and they will attach to the roots of the plants, and drop by drop, the water will be given to the roots. And especially in groundnut fields, they will be arranging sprinkler system. Yes. So if you are using that kind of micro irrigation system, we can use water efficiently. And next one here is we can maintain proper data related to water level in the river basins, especially during the summer season. What happens? The water will be getting dried up, the level in the river will be reduced. And normally in the monsoon time, if we are receiving heavy rainfall, what happens? That river basin will be filled and it will cause floods. So if you are having the data, we can go for what? Removing of sediments in that river bank. So if you are going for that, this process is called as desiltation. We are going to remove the silt, which is there at the bottom of that river. So we are going to remove this silt. This process called as desiltation. If you are going for desiltation, what happens? We can increase the water level in that rivers. Normal in summer season, you can see the lakes will be drying up. So there will be JCBs and some procliners. They will be removing that silt. No idea. If you are from villages, you will be seeing that kind of incidents. Okay. Next, what is the need here? What is the need here is India is facing water bankruptcy. So if we want to overcome this problem, obviously we have to go for this kind of projects. So we have to recharge our aquifers. We have to control the pollution of the rivers, and we have to ensure water availability in the scarce areas. In that way, we can ensure water security in our country. And especially cities like Bangalore, Mussoorie and Delhi already facing acute water stress. Okay, so in Delhi, water supply had been reduced by 70%. You can understand in which situation the people in the Delhi are. And next one is 11 out of 15 major river basins are water stressed. And most of our rivers got polluted already. Because of that, there is water scarcity. And this one is government came up with some programs called as Jal Jeevan Mission, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sanchay Yojana. But the problem is they are not working on the ground level. Okay. And this one is there is no proper wastewater treatment. We have to focus on that. And India has only 4% of world's water resources. But if you see the population, 18% of global population. Already we are having this water stress because of human actions. We are furthermore polluting the rivers. We are furthermore making this water scarce. Okay, we have to overcome that challenge. And you know, climate change is happening. This time there is 40% of rainfall deficit. If you are getting full rainfall only, we are getting this kind of water scarcity. You can imagine now this year how the position of people will be or situation of people will be. We are having 40% of rainfall deficit. Okay. So if you are having this kind of policy related to water, we will be having lots of positive impacts. Like if whatever the climate may be, we can survive in that situation and we can have economic gains because we are treating our wastewater, and in that way we are generating revenue and as well as we are generating jobs. And this one is we can ensure agriculture efficiency. Even though if there is less rainfall, if you are focusing on micro irrigation methods, we can increase productivity of agriculture. And better governance we can ensure, and even sustainability in urban areas. So these will be the positive impacts. Clear? See this article guys, manufacturing justice, use of AI fabricated judicial precedents amounts to criminal misconduct. Very important article. Okay. To understand this, I have to give you a brief background. You know that we are using AI in different areas, even in policing system, even in healthcare system, even in judiciary also, we are taking help of AI, right? So this article is saying that yes, you can use AI for what? Analyzing the cases. If there is any previous judgment given by the judge, what is the judgment? What are the sections are there related to that crime? Regarding that, we can use. Can we replace judge with AI? This is that article, guys. This is as simple as that. So now we are using AI in different areas, and we extended this use of AI even in judiciary also. But this article is saying that if you are using AI, whatever the information it is giving, we should not blindly trust it. We should do cross verification. We should do re-evaluation, and then only we can use that AI based information. If you are using that AI information without any verification, then it is a criminal offense. Clear? That is this article. Here, if you see what Supreme Court said is, Supreme Court set aside NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal order that relied on AI generated precedents. Recently, NCLT related case, in that NCLT related case, court gave judgment related to AI precedent. That is, whatever the thing which is generated by AI, they use that in judgment. So, Supreme Court said that this judgment is not right because without verification, they took this AI generated precedents. And now the justice, they highlighted that we need to do independent verification and we have to maintain integrity on these judicial decisions. If courts are directly taking this AI related content and if they are giving judgment without cross verification, is that right? So sometimes AI will be like biased. That is a question given in 2026 prelims paper. They gave the question in this format. Consider the following related to AI. In that, they gave 3 statements, I guess. The last statement is it will give unbiased decision. It will take unbiased decision. No, AI can take biased decisions. Okay, that is a wrong statement in that question, but I cannot exactly recall all those other 3 statements. This is the question 2026 only, last year. Okay, so here when we are taking this AI related content and whenever we are giving judgment without cross verifying it, we cannot maintain integrity. That will lead to erosion of public trust. That is the thing which mainly said by Supreme Court, guys. And Supreme Court also warned that AI hallucinations that could subvert the rule of law. Whenever we are taking directly the information given by AI and if you are using in this justice delivery process, that will leads to undermining of rule of law. That may leads to the negative impacts in our society. Okay. See these questions, guys. First question is about Totapari mango. Can you see this? Consider the following statements regarding Totapari mango. Totapari is a popular mango variety cultivated in mainly in southern states of India. Which states? Totapari triangle. AP, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Next, it is widely preferred for processing into pulp, juices, pickles and puree rather than table consumption. Yes, in food processing industries you are using as a pulp, juice, pickles. Next one, the fruit has a distinctive beak-like pointed tip, which gives it the name Totapari. Yes, shape you can imagine it is having that kind of shape, pear-shaped. Totapari has been granted GI status for all producing states in India. All, only for certain geographical conditions they will be getting, not all. That means 4 will be, what is the answer? 1, 2, 3. Okay, B. Clear? See this next question. Consider the following statements regarding radio telemetry. 4 statements again. Radio telemetry is a technique used to collect data from a distant object and transmit it wirelessly to a receiving station. It is widely used for tracking wildlife migration, animal behavior. Yes, because of it is in use. 2 should be there. Okay. Next one, radio telemetry works only through satellites. Only. Keep it aside. Scientists use radio telemetry in ecological, medical and space research. That means in your answer 2 and 4 should be there. One option got eliminated. You see the first one. Okay, if you see whether first one is there or not, again you can eliminate option, no? See this, radio telemetry is a technique used to collect data from a distinct object and transmit it wireless. It is a wireless communication only, no? That means first one will be there. Okay, so now you have 2 options, option B and C. Now which option you have to check? 3 you have to check, not 4. 3. Radio telemetry works only through satellites. No, it won't work only through satellites. Even with the radio waves also it will work, no? That means 3 is the wrong. Answer is B, 1, 2 and 4. Only it is an extreme word. Okay. That's all guys. By this I'm concluding. If you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you have not yet been subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe guys. Thank you so much.